Damn, Ingenious made the beat? Yo, welcome to another episode of the Coach Life Podcast Radio. I'm, of course, your host, the Prince of Positivity, Coach Steve. Joined with me, as always, the dime dropper, Coach Luna. How we doing, Brody?
Blessed. I've been ready to have this one with my boy, who we're gonna introduce in a little bit. I've been waiting on this one for a minute. You've been on my ass for about a good solid 365 days about getting on the pod. So this is definitely gonna be one up the old block.
Absolutely. Pre-show, I'm gonna say he said 3 years, bro. He said we've been in production about 3 years. But anyway, we digress. CEO, founder of the Coach Life Podcast and brand about building your brand. Coach Wash, how we doing, bro?
You're doing great. Bless.
As always, brother. As always. We have a fun one for you guys today. Like I alluded to earlier, pre-show, had a great conversation with this coach, offensive coordinator at Autumn Ridge, Coach Rasheed Davis. How we doing, Brody?
Rashaun Davis.
There we go. All right. Offensive coordinator for Autumn Ridge, Rashaun Davis. How we doing, bro?
Doing good, man. I'm glad y'all boys finally got me on here. I'm a fan from the outside, so I've always been watching and listening. So like Luna said, I've been on his ass telling him to get me on here. So now we're here. It's time to run the numbers up.
Oh man, I'm excited for this one. Just the pre-show alone, man. You had me in tears. Bro. You had me in tears just in the pre-show. So this is a great topic that I think you will be able to give a lot of insight on, a lot of real good insight on, especially just giving your personality and your background. Halftime. Going into halftime. It's August, right? It's football season. Usually end of the year, going into our third or fourth quarter, usually this is the time where we got to start tuning some things up. This is where we start like fixing some things. We start making some small adjustments here and there. Or for some of us, we may start coasting. But there is a thing that happens at halftime. So that is our topic for today, is to talk about halftime, to talk about the third and fourth quarter, how we prepare for the third and fourth quarter, whether that be in life, whether that be on the field, whether that be in the boardroom, wherever the case may be. So Coach Davis is going to help us navigate that from his perspective, which I think is a very interesting perspective. Coach Luna and Coach Wash has had the privilege of working with Coach Davis and sharing a coach's locker room with him. So I can only imagine the shenanigans you guys got into and the interesting conversations that kind of sparked from that. Coach Davis, can you tell us a little bit about your background, how you got into coaching and why you have that coach life mindset?
All right, so background, I'm originally born and raised Houston, Texas. I would say when I got into coaching, it all started, I don't know, I can't speak for everybody, but for most, like coming out, you always think I'm about to go to the league. Everybody, I mean, go D1, I go to the league, you know what I'm saying, get big house, buy mom crib, all that. So went to college, played at SFA, and realized I ain't going to the league. So then it was like, well, what's next? So then that's when I decided, well, my mom was a teacher. She'd been teaching first grade for over 25 years. So she'd been in a minute. And so I was like, all right, I know I like teaching. I see my mom teach all these years and be good. And I was like, well, I want to coach. I almost took the college route. I got the GA job at Midwestern State coming out of college. And I remember going up there on the trip because he just wanted to talk to me. And they had what can I say? Like the job description was like, it's a grad assistant, we're gonna pay for your school, we're gonna pay for your meal plan, and we're gonna provide housing. Cool. I go up there, I know I'm getting off topic, but you got to see the story.
Oh no, I
So
want to hear it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I get up there and the guy's like, I was like, yeah, so how about the housing? And he said, oh, yeah, it's gonna be an apartment you're gonna share with 3 other GAs. So I'm like, oh, 4-bedroom apartment. No, it was a 2-bedroom apartment. So it was like bunk beds and all this. So I was like, oh, I didn't see the apartment. He's telling me about it. So I was like, oh, okay, well, the meal plan, that's cool. At least I can eat because I'm only getting $1,000 a month. So I was like, y'all feeding me. He's like, well, yeah, the meal plan is you can only just eat 5 times a week. So I'm like, huh, like that's once a day. And he's like, yeah, for the most part, because you're gonna be on the road after that anyway. So I'm like, so I gotta choose if I'm gonna eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And so I was like, all right, so then what about the school? I didn't have to pay for. So he's just like, yeah, Texas, we don't pay in full for grad school. Like it's just we pay a percentage, and the percentage will be like 30%. So I was like, nah, I'm good. So I got into middle school coaching. So I was like, I just rather do that. So I started out from middle school, did that for 2 years. That kind of wasn't enough. I'm still young and hungry. Got up to Cy Ridge, got a varsity receiver position, went to the regional championship. 4-star running back got hurt the 3rd round game, so we lost 4th round. And then after that, I just parlayed it into Travis, and I went to Cy Ranch, and then I was at Summer Creek this past year. We went to state, don't ask to score, and now I'm at Autumn Ridge.
Awesome. So trekking through, you've been a position coach, wide receiver primarily.
Yeah, all time. Wide eyes. I coached the Divas, the prima donnas.
I love it.
Me too.
I love it. Now, were you a wide receiver when you played?
Yeah, I played receiver and corner in my smaller days when I was in high school. And then when I got to college, I went to the defensive side.
Mm-hmm. You went to the dark side?
Yeah, but the receiver part was easy because you've always played DB, so you know
Absolutely
what tricks them. You got the blueprint in a way.
Absolutely.
So pretty much I like all my friends that played offense, coaching defense now, and all my partners that play defense is coaching offense. It's weird. That's why it's like it just always turns out that way.
Being a receiver is easy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know how it go. You know how it goes, especially when you've been the receiver. You've been that guy. I played receiver in high school and college. Coach primarily DBs because again you just understand the game a little bit different.
You know what they're trying to do.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
Like the corner's reading hips, so they're doing this. So take this kind of release, do this, do that, get free access this way. It's simple.
Exactly.
That's why we used to cook Luna and them at practice. One-on-ones. Yeah, like the corners and the safeties.
No.
Yeah.
We was definitely holding our own, bro. Yeah.
Exactly.
One always catered to.
Hey.
But I'll tell a story. My last year coaching with them.
6 Mississippi ass clock every single time y'all get out.
Steve, my last year coaching with them, we was cooking them so much. Luna was like, y'all better score 70 a game when I had Madden in them.
Steve, this dude, he had all the freedom to steal all the skill players. He literally took every athlete we had on the team. He took every athlete we had on the team.
They came to me.
This some shit.
Hey, bro, Steve, who am I to tell a kid no? I thought we was in it for the kids. What am I to tell a kid no?
Just helping the kids out. That's all right.
Yeah, man. I don't care about these kids' future.
On here now. Everybody know. Ain't no kid just got freedom to go be like, I just want to do this. I want to do that.
Hey, man,
he's politicking. He's politicking.
Coach Walsh, we had a couple players at Joe's that got a chance to pick what they wanted to play. We had a couple.
We didn't have Joe's didn't have depth that we had over.
We didn't have
situation. This was a different situation. He unnecessarily had all the skilled players.
Steve, what Coach Washington and Luna is not telling you is they had those athletes, but the problem was with all those athletes, they was running zone. Them kids was tired of playing zone. They wanted to run some man. See, that's another conversation. So I said, hey, come over here and run some routes.
Another combo for another time.
Because that's that's gonna turn into me talking about somebody else again. That was out
Wash,
of control because you know damn well I wanted to sit in man.
wash,
They was running.
wash. I'm gonna
Steve, they
tell
was
you
running a
right
couple
now.
fours with 4 fours.
Look, when I all I know
Uh,
was we sat in man when I first got there and it worked.
Oh yeah, we won
It
7
worked for
Again,
games.
hell. It
you
works for
cater to the
hell.
kids, man. You cater to the kids. You gotta play to the kids' strength.
We had the boys
Yeah,
for it. He's had us sitting back there in the zone.
Steve, you just
sure
said
did.
something. You got to play to the kids' strength, huh?
100%. You got
Oh,
it. You have to. If you're not doing that, you failing as a coach. Again, you're
I
not
think
utilizing the
everything need
tools
to
the
be
right way.
everything needs to be geared towards the kids, regardless. It's just it always. I had to learn that like as a young coach, man. When I first got into high school, and we in Texas, so it ain't many black and brown coaches, like
Mm-hmm.
unless like, and so, but the locker room is obviously black and brown.
Right.
So just simple things like music at practice or music in the weight room, they want to play their music. The coaches, when they don't want to hear that rap stuff or whatever, I'm like, but you're not the one that's lifting.
Right.
You're not the ones practicing. Like whatever it takes to get these kids to play to the next level, if it's turning on some NBA young boy, play it. But I think it's that whole selfishness. And
Yeah.
it's something simple like that shows you how selfish some coaches can be. So you take that from music and tie that in with scheme, or hey, I'm not running nothing else because it's all I know. But we don't got the kids for that. Whatever, this is all I know. So it's one of those things where, like you said, it's about the kids. And I think a lot of coaches, I think that's why they kind of hate Dion in a ways, because it's kind of like a player driven program. And nothing's wrong with that. You know
Wasn't
what I
supposed to
mean?
be.
Yeah, like you want to have something where kids come, have fun. And obviously, it's no disrespect. And I think some people feel like when they see kids having fun or you give them things that they want, you're losing control.
Mm-hmm.
And that's such an old myth, and it's stupid. Like it don't make sense. It's like, no, you're not. You lose control, you lose control.
Right.
But how dare you give these kids something that they enjoy to do while they working hard and they also sacrificing? Because yeah, we sacrificing stuff as coaches, but so is these kids. Like we
Absolutely.
keeping these kids sometimes, coach. They going like at Summer Creek this past year. Our kids were putting 13-hour days in.
Yep.
We had 6:30 a.m. meetings, and then practice would end at 6:20. You know what I mean? And so nobody thinks about the sacrifice these kids make. So
Right.
it's like, well, they supposed to do that. They do what I'm supposed to tell them. And so I think it's just one of those things, like you said, man. I think when you adjust to what your kids' strengths are, regardless, like as far as personality, the scheme, everything, it all comes in together.
Could not agree more. Could not agree more. That again is the again, just having that mindset, a coaching mindset around what the actual goal is. The goal is to get whoever I'm coaching at the next level. Period. What is it going to take? What are the keys that are needed to get them to the next level? If it's the changing of my mindset, if it's changing the music, if it's changing the scheme or whatever the case may be, these are the things that need to happen to get them where they need to be.
And that's a good thing you say. I've always, and I'll ask y'all this question. It's a tough question, I feel like, as a coach. And I still, in a way, well, I think as I got older, I kind of steered to this other answer. What's more important for a head coach? The betterment of the program or the betterment of the player? Meaning, if I take this kid from safety and put him at quarterback, we'll be a better team. But he will not get the scholarships he would get if he was at safety. But I'll be winning games.
I so love that.
Or if I leave this kid at safety, he is going to get those scholarships, but we're going to win only 2 games because we got a kid that's terrible. So what's more important?
You asking the question? My opinion is better for the player.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
in the boat of helping the kid out for what is going to be his future.
Right.
But
here's the thing: a program can always recover. You can't get your time back.
Nope. That kid
kid
has only got one shot.
That kid would never have another opportunity. That program will always be there. You will always have an opportunity to build that.
But you won't always be there, possibly.
Doesn't
You win
matter.
those 2 games, you probably get fired.
That ain't what we here for.
Exactly.
We had our time.
That's not who you're not here for.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We're not here for ourselves. You're doing it for the right reason. You're doing it for the youth because our time is up. Our time, we had our opportunity. So now we the OGs now.
Mm-hmm.
OGs need to be the OGs. I got to give you the game. I need to set you up to win. So the program, we will have more opportunities. Even if I'm not there, I'll have more opportunities at another program. The kid is not going to have another opportunity to be a senior in high school or junior in high school. That's never going to come back around.
True.
And I think that's the selflessness, though, of you putting yourself before putting the kid before yourself.
Right. You putting yourself
last. And a lot of coaches don't do that.
So, Coach Davis, you just asked a very good question, and I'm in agreement with everybody here. It is 100% about the kid. If we need to put him in the best position that's going to make him get to where he needs to get to, I can care less if this, put him at quarterback, we're going to win every game. That doesn't help us at the end of the day. That don't help none of these kids.
That don't help him. Yeah.
Exactly. It don't help anybody. So let's put him where he needs to be, and let's run the program the way it needs to be ran. Again, Coach Wash knows this story. We had a kid at Joe's that was a utility player. We can put this kid anywhere on the field, called the kid money because every time the kid touched the ball is money. It's money every time. It didn't matter what it was.
That was Booby.
That was Booby Miles.
Yeah.
that was Booby Miles, bro. Booby Miles. Every single time. But it was ample time. It was a bunch of times where I could have used him on a JV team. I was the head coach of the JV team. He was a sophomore. But I'm like, what's gonna get him the most looks right now? I had this conversation with one of the coaches, with Coach but I had coach at the time. And his question to me was like, if you want him to play, like, it's your decision. He a sophomore. It's your decision. What is going to get this kid the most looks right now? He need to play varsity. Put him out there with varsity right now because he can play with varsity. He's running all over juniors and seniors all day long.
He was all the way ready.
So it's like, so what am I going to do keeping him on sophomore, possibly getting him an opportunity of getting hurt.
Yeah.
Doing something stupid because somebody don't know what they're doing down on the sophomore level. Again, they still young, still learning right now, still growing into their bodies. He is too, but he obviously is a little bit more advanced than some of the other guys. So let's not hinder him. Let's give him the opportunity to grow. So I love that you asked that question because, again, it shows the selflessness that's needed to be the coach that you need to be.
I want to bring this tie in. So the word clearly that is synonymous with everything is selflessness. All right. So as a coach, going into halftime, I want to use we're down at halftime. Coach Davis, what should be the approach at a halftime adjustment from let's start with the football perspective first. From a coach's perspective, we're down. How should this picture look? And then we're gonna tie this in with another part as we go. But when we go in halftime, we're down. How should this coaches meeting that we always have right there, right beneath the scoreboard?
Yeah. That's the big one.
How should this be looking?
So the main thing is, and for just like the viewers who don't coach and know, like when Coach Luna said the coaches meeting, like how it usually happens is like right at the end of half, all the coaches meet up. Like we wait for the coaches from the press box to come down, and then we all come together. We talk. The head coach will give his 2 cents, and then we break apart offensively and defensively. As coaches, then we talk about the adjustments or whatever. Then we go in and talk to the kids. So basically, I feel like how that should look, and I've been on some staffs where it looks good, and there's some that's just, it don't look as well. And I've always said, as far as the kids or the coaches, body language is everything. is huge.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't think people understand, especially as coaches, how huge body language is. Like if a kid does something wrong, if you notice, they always look to the sideline right after to see like how y'all reacting. Like they know they messed up. This kid know he dropped the ball. But if I'm down here with my hand down and I'm like doing this and I'm like, oh my God, that was third and long, that was a TD, how that kid's gonna feel. And it's the same way with the staff. When you come down and I got the OC or the whoever, the DC, they coming from the press box and their body language is, oh, these kids this, and man, we had this, and this kid, you should have known he was scared to play, and all these other stuff, we did already lost the halftime adjustment. Because there's no way that he's gonna change his body language and how he is with us to when he go in there with those kids. It's just not. There ain't no switch. And if there is a switch, I'm telling you, these kids are smarter than what we give them credit for. They read right between the BS. So how should it look, man? You just got to come down and be like, it's a whole other half, in which it is. We've coached long enough. We lost some games in the second half, and we've won some games in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
So your halftime should just simply be make the adjustments. And it should never go in there without changing nothing. It's a quote I always use, man. It goes like it says, nothing changes if nothing changes.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So
Facts.
it's like
super elementary, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
Nothing changes if nothing changes. Like you can go in there and give your rah-rah to the kids and say, y'all got to play better. And then we just go back in the second half with the same game plan. You still running power into this 8-man box. You still throwing 4 verts against drop 8. You see what I'm saying? Like nothing changed. You just went in here and you talked, but nothing changed. You just talked. And I think a lot of things with halftime, people, you gotta be. I feel like that's where the good coaching goes. Adjustments. It's so underrated. And you think, oh, you're a coach, duh, you make adjustments. No, there's a lot of people that don't because they feel like it's not them that making a mistake, it's the kids. You see what I'm saying? So
I gotta ask this question because you guys have all been on coaching staffs, many different coaching staffs, and I've been in those same conversations with coaches. I've been there with the head coach or one of the OCs where we've been told we got to keep running this. Like it's there. There. We just got to keep running this. We got to keep running this.
I like Stratford.
Hey boy, I'll be like,
square
hey,
peg.
you got 2 quarters to show you that it ain't. Get over yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
You had 2 quarters to show me that.
Yeah. We got data showing that it's not there.
Coach,
that's back to what you was talking about earlier, though, Coach Davis. I mean, that's part of the ego trip right there.
Yes. It's not me. It's got to be them.
Coach Steve,
I can't do nothing wrong.
Coach Steve, I feel like this has a great tie-in. This has a tie-in with life and how we approach every single year with our New Year's resolution. Here come the summer. And then here we go having the same exact conversation come Thanksgiving. And here come New Year's again.
Nothing changed.
Rinse and repeat.
Rinse and repeat.
Yep. The cycle.
New year, new me.
It's a cycle, man. It's the same, the whole thing. And I don't know if when we was at Ridge one year, and one of the few things this head coach did that I liked was he did this like senior speak, right? And where the seniors from that season come talk to the underclassmen. Like it's like their exit speech and they leave. And at that point, I was reaching year 4. So that was my 4th year at Ridge.
Coach Davis, were they done with the season or they had
they were done with the season
before? Okay.
Yeah, we were done with the season. They turned in their equipment, and then the next day they talked to the kids in the gym, all the players. And so that was year 2 of me seeing it, that whole thing that the coach did. And it bothered me, and I like, I gave the kids their space to talk, and they did those things. And it's the typical, man, make sure y'all y'all take care of y'all business in the class. Make sure y'all do this, man. Take it serious, man. If I just did this, my freshman year, this and this and this, right? But guess what the seniors the year before said?
The same thing that the
The
guys
same
before
thing.
said.
And guess what the seniors the year
Same
before that
thing they
said?
said. Right.
And
It's
then guess what the
repeating the
seniors the year
cycle.
before that said? So those kids that were freshmen listening to those seniors are now seniors still saying the same, I should have took things seriously. But these seniors told you that when you were a freshman. So that was one of those I got on my soapbox and I told them, I was like, when are we gonna break this cycle? Every year I have to sit here as a coach because you love these kids. You know what I mean? Especially the kids that we had our ridge because they didn't have everything. They barely had fathers, they barely had food. So like you closer to those kids that struggle because you know how much more you mean to them. And I would just tell them every time, like, guys, I've sat here every year and I keep hearing seniors say the same thing, the same seniors who I've seen that were freshmen, listening to these same things, but we yet continue to do the same thing. Y'all continue to play around the school. Your grades is bad, so you don't get recruited. You don't come to stat camp. You don't take the weight room serious on all these other things that you know you should be doing, but you don't. And then when it's all over, you say, man, I should have done that. So like high school, the beauty of high school, I feel like is like, it's life, but it's like, you don't get a second chance at it. Mm-hmm. I feel like you have every year, like how Luna brought up these New Year's resolutions, you can try to improve that each year. Even though you failed in 2020, you can try again in 2021. And you can try again in 2022. You can keep trying and keep trying. You don't get that in high school, dog. Mm-mm. Like, if you go through that freshman and senior year and you just BS all the way through, it's done. You can't go back. It can't be, all right, man. All right, now I'm 18. I know what I need to do. I'm going to go. It's too late. So that's what us as coaches, we try to stress that to them. And, you know, most of these kids, man, they're not going to understand anything until they make that mistake themselves. Because we as coaches, we either speaking from experience, whether it's personally or it's secondhand, we've seen it. It was somewhere.
You know what, Coach? You hit on something that about the time thing, and this definitely relates back into what Coach Luna said a little bit ago when we talked about, again, you only got that third and fourth quarter. There's a time that equates to that. There's a set amount of time. When we talk about, when we talk about middle school, I haven't coached middle schools in a while. What's the quarters for you guys? 5,
8
7,
minutes.
8
8,
minutes,
10.
7.
It depends. It's 8 or 10, whoever home team they decide.
Okay, because for middle school, out in Chicago, they usually do like 7 or 8 minutes too. So there's a set amount of time that's there for you. And I think when it comes to sports, and I don't want to just pigeonhole it to football, but we're going to, because we're all football coaches right now. So if anybody in the comments want to be mad and I'm not equating this to everything or every other sport, sorry. We're talking about football right now.
Tell them to start their own podcast.
Right. Right. Talk about it. Yeah. But when you talk about football, like, there's a finite amount of time left.
Coach, in life is a finite amount of time. Yeah, we all know.
Yeah,
exactly.
You don't know what time you're going to the upper room.
Exactly, but that's the cool.
Do.
That's my point, guys. That's my point. Like, in life, you don't know, but you know it's finite.
Yeah. Right.
On the clock, I know. But how many kids sitting in that locker room, either up or down, and on the scoreboard, will look at that time and like, that doesn't make a difference? I think that's something that a coach, that one of my coaches helped me see a little bit different when I was a player, and then when I became a coach, he made me understand understand the time, understand that that's finite. The changes need to happen now. Like, don't wait eventually to make these changes. Like, if the change doesn't happen now, you have completely lost out on that opportunity. Like, you'll never have it again.
Yeah. I actually have a problem with what Davis just got done talking about too. Just continuously like doing the same thing at the end of the season. There should be periodic check-ins, right?
Yeah. Quarterly at least. Just like NFL.
You know, why we having these boys talk to them at the end of the season? You know what I'm saying? Why this ain't a regular thing with them? And then also them seniors, by the time they got there, they knew, most of them knew in junior year that they was in a bad place before they even got to their senior year.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh yeah.
at some point, you need to start setting benchmarks. Maybe bring somebody else in, try to switch things up, bring in some fresh perspectives. But once again, a coach has to get over themselves
Yeah. I
to
feel like
realize that you have to change the program that you have in place, because clearly it's not
mm-hmm.
working.
Yeah.
Some animosity is in
Still,
that comment.
as we speak today.
As we speak today. Real
Still,
much.
it's not working at all. And one of those teams it was working for is no longer there.
Yeah.
So the wins go from 2 to 1.
Coach Davis, I
I
got
ain't
a
saying
question
no
for
name.
you, man.
Oh.
I got a question for you, Coach Davis. So we talked about this in the pre-show, and you talked about that, you know, we don't have to talk about the state game, but
Okay.
one of the things that you talked about was that, hey, it's 0-0. What's the importance about, you know, trying to wipe your head away from all the prior results? What's the psychology behind, like, hey, it's the beginning all over again, even though realistically I only got half the time now?
And
what's the mindset behind it?
And on top of that, because I want you to answer this part too, getting past those individuals that have that here it comes mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Where
I would say the psychology mainly is you actually got to believe it. Now, am I saying believe that you could come back from down 50 in the next half? No, I mean like you actually believe it's 0-0, and I just want y'all to win the next half. Just show some fight because that's what life is. You know what I mean? Like it's like as cliche as everybody makes it seem, like this game that we play and coach is literally getting these kids ready for life. And being down at halftime, what's the difference in you failing that first midterm in college? You see what I'm saying? How you gonna bounce back from that? It's no different. So that whole 0-0 mindset and the psychology about it is you actually got to believe that. And I think for you to actually believe that, you actually got to be a strong-minded individual yourself. I feel like a lot of people coach, but a lot of people aren't good coaches, and that's part of it. It's sports psychology behind this as well. It's not about how much X's and O's and how many fronts you can draw power against. Is how can you get these kids to believe and buy into you? And that first, you got to have that stuff yourself. And I'm gonna go back to Prime again. I'm gonna go to Prime. As y'all know, I like Coach Prime. And it's not even about the flashiness and all that. It's just about he cares about the kids. Now the cameras is there, but he cares about the kids, and those kids care about him. And I think a lot of people they think he shouldn't be a head coach because he never was offensive coordinator or these type things. But you don't need to be an X and O guy to be a head coach. You know what I mean? I don't need my head coach to be the smartest guy in the room. I don't want that. I want my head coach to be able to build relationships with the kids, with the community, with the parents, and have these kids run through a brick wall and be that motivational speaker. Let us take care of the X's and O's and everything else. So back to what Luna was asking was just, you actually got to believe that, man. And I don't think a lot of coaches believe that, back to what Coach Washington said, because they can't get over themselves. So how can I believe that it's 0-0 and it's fine when I still think it's the kid's fault? You got to tell yourself it's 0-0. You know what I'm saying? You got to approach it yourself as 0-0. Don't just tell these kids. But again, back to nothing changes if nothing changes. So you telling me it's 0-0, bro, but in your head, you still thinking, man, it's these kids. You ain't look at your script.
These are coaches lock. This is a coach's office conversation right here. Now I'm about to ask you another question. So do you think that that behind each little philosophy going into halftime is like a open glass window into the actual person as far as the psychology behind that actual person that we call coach. Because like you said, everybody is a coach, but not everybody's a coach. As a good coach or whatever exactly was a quote that you said. So you get to see these people that really don't know how to emotionally regulate themselves. They really don't know how to handle being up. They don't know how to handle being down. And like you said, these kids are sponges. So if I see you responding a certain way, what exactly is going to be the response from the kids that I'm supposed to be showing a lesson for?
Exactly. Like if I'm a player and I see my coach pretty much folding up the tents, I'm gonna fold up the tents. And the kids can see, and again, these kids are smarter than what we give them credit for. They can see a coach giving up by his play calling. First half, you was calling
whole game.
Yeah, you was calling 4 verticals and you was calling all this through the week or the first half, and now we just run an inside zone and stop routes on third down. You just try and get out of here.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's all, yes, it's all ties in, man. And like you said, these kids can see and see through you. And they're gonna know a coach that's real, and they're gonna know a coach that's not real. They're gonna see how a coach treats somebody, and they're gonna see how you treat the other person. But back to what Steve was asking when he was saying, like, how do you talk to these kids when they're like, oh, here it goes? You be genuine. Like, they're going to know off top. They're going to be like, oh, coach for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know coach speak and they know real speak. They know, like, hey, guys, we got another half. Hey, just don't give up. No, you just coming in like, man, we better than this. I've seen y'all make plays. I've seen you do this. I've seen you do this. This is not how you're going to want to end it, right? We had 3 turnovers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Think about the times where we had these turnovers. They was both inside the 25. This one was in the 50. We get those, that's easily a different ball game. Like, they don't think like that. They're kids. They're emotional. They don't think with logic. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, that's why they do these things in school and get emails for behavior. They're still growing up. So, you know what I'm saying? So I think just as adults and as good coaches, you say that, but every coach can't do that because I hate it. Some coaches never faced adversity before because half of them lived a privileged life. Half of them never played any kind of sport. Or if they did play a sport, they weren't starters, so they kind of got used to just being a 2 or a 3. You know what I'm saying? So it's just more so those are the same guys that's throwing headsets and being crazy and overreacting and don't know what to do when they upset in the game. And then as coaches, who you really got to be, I guess, believable for and strong for. If I see my coordinator coming down and he look like he quit, a piece of you you're gonna subconsciously quit too because you're gonna be like, I don't have much control of this.
You the one calling the plays.
I can be the great receiver coach that's saying all these things on the sideline while you up in the box, pretty much trying to get out this game. You know what I'm saying? So why would I coach hard now? You know what I'm saying? It affects you. It's like it leeches. Like it's like the what is that thing called? What's the book we read? Oh, the energy vampire. It's like an energy vampire. The energy bus. If y'all haven't read that, I would say read that. But it's like sometimes these coordinators will be energy vampires. Like we can be down there as coaches, and it could be me, Luna, Coach Washington. We all, Coach Grady, we all down there. We talking. We doing these things. We saying, hey, bro, we only down 12. Like we can do this and this. And the coordinators come down. Man, these kids, they scared. I knew they'd be scared of South Air. And now the coach is like, damn, well, shit, there you go. You know what I'm saying?
They don't believe. Right. They don't believe.
Right. So it's down. And we've been in those positions before, man. Where they, like I said, they some energy vampires.
So you're 100% right, because I've seen that side of the coach's locker room where there is still a chance. Now, don't get me wrong. Yeah, we down 24, 30 points. Yeah, it's gonna be tough, but it's still a chance. There's
always a chance.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, if you show that you believe in these kids, Coach Luna and Washington, remember, I've had this team, and the school that we were at, we would win what, 2 games a year, something like that, or 4 when I was there. Our sub-varsity teams were the worst because we constantly had to bring up sophomores. So your JV team was full of sophomores, and everybody else JV team was like a real program, juniors. You know what I mean? And I was winning 4 or 5 games with these teams. And Steve, when I tell you seen these teams and these players that I had no business winning these games. But the main thing it was is, one, personally, I took it as my name is on this.
Yep.
So I'm not gonna roll out here and just be on some BS. And the main thing is these kids are losing games, but guess what they're doing? They showing up every day.
Yep.
And
they having fun. And they're gonna play hard.
Because you actually putting in effort for them.
Yes.
You making it fun because you saying this is what I have, and within the scope of what we're doing, I'm gonna go ahead and make it mold for what we got.
We gonna compete. I'm gonna spend this time. Steve, I was having these kids in the third gym, and we just did walkthroughs for an hour during athletic period, 40 minutes during athletic period. Running through plays, coming up with trick plays, coming up with different things. We gave them a nickname. We called ourselves Showtime. So, like, these kids, like, it was a brand. They cared about it.
You made them invested. You made them invested in the program. You made them invested in you.
Yep. And we won more games in the varsity than everybody in the program because we had fun. Yep. And it was a fun environment. Luna, like our home games, Luna would be on the sideline. Like, those kids was having fun. When we was losing, we was having fun because we were still competing. I'm still throwing the ball. We still doing these things. Like, and to this day, those kids still reach out to me. Those same ones, because they knew, like, I could have easily just like, man, Shanley, I don't need this much time with them. I just need about 30 minutes with them. That's it. But we were saying after practice, doing everything.
It sounds like you got to create a sport. So my question for you, Coach, is like we talked about earlier with the resolution, year after year. How do you create a spark? How do you make Showtime for yourself? How do you create that spark within you?
That's a good question. I would say you gotta set a goal, and you have to get excited about achieving that goal. You see what I'm saying? Like, as far as the Showtime with our kids was, the goal was to win, and you need to have fun obtaining that win. And if you do not win, you know I got another chance to get another win. And if I don't get it, I worked my ass off to try to get that win. You see what I'm saying? So it was never. It's the same thing with your life, as in whatever your win is, because wins are subjective in life. If your win is getting your first apartment, you should be excited to get your first apartment. Like, it should be in your head, man. When I get my first apartment, I'm gonna have this couch. I'm gonna get this TV. Ooh, I'm gonna bring these girls through. Whatever. I'm gonna throw a kickback. You got to be excited for this goal. You got to be that Showtime. So I think a lot of people will come up with a plan, and it sounds good, but the process is not exciting. And you got to fall in love with the process to get into that. And I think just in life in general, we all, as adults, as teenagers, as everybody, we set these things and say, we're going to do this and do this, but don't have an action to it. It's just, it sounds good. You see it all the time. We see it all the time on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. You got friends and like, you get psyched up about them when they post those things. I do. Like, and then you just see like, hey, I thought you said you was going to lose these 20 pounds, and then now you eating
going back
brunching. Yeah, you brunching and eating chicken and waffles and mimosas, and like, you're like, dang. So, and granted, just because you ate those chicken and waffles, you lost that day. But that don't mean the game over.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You can just bounce back Monday, then eventually it's going to click. But I think one of those things, man, is just having those kids and having anybody pouring confidence into them. Just anybody pouring confidence in, man, it's huge. I've only worked for one head coach in my entire career that just said you're doing a good job. And does that validate me as a coach? No, but it's good to hear somebody say you're doing a good job. You're a good coach.
Seen. I'm being seen.
Like, just it's nice to hear. And I think that's the whole part of psychology. Think about how many of these kids we coach are not told they're smart, aren't told they're going to be something, aren't told they look good to like the opposite sex. They don't have money. You ain't rich. They're short. Something simple as telling them, man, you had a good job. You did a good job at practice today. Goes a long way with these kids.
I see
It
it.
goes a
I see
long
it
way
with
with
my.
adults.
You're 100% right. I see it with my son and my daughter. Just telling my son, like, hey man, thanks for washing those dishes over there. You see the
That's
little,
it.
it's no,
Yeah, they're going to watch you the next
big chest.
time. Yeah.
Exactly. Just because of those small little call outs, and you nail on
Yes.
the head, man. You have to do that consistently. I think that's the
Yep.
other part of it. It needs to be consistent. It can't
Yes.
be the.
It's got to be real too. It can't
It's
be
got to be
It can't
forced.
be,
real.
yes, I was about to say, it can't be a chore. It can't be,
Yes. Yes.
oh, you know what? I ain't told Washington he did good in about 2 weeks. That's what
Let me hit him
like
up.
it's not, yeah. And a
Like
coach
when
we
we
worked
had the
for,
remember
yes,
that?
I was about to say, yeah, it wasn't genuine.
Mm-hmm.
You're forcing us to do it. And you're telling us a set amount. What if it was just one kid this week? Let me tell this one kid that. I don't need to write a postcard. I told the one kid already, numerous times. You see what I'm saying? So it's a man. It's not hard. I don't think coaching is hard at all. I think people they overrate it and they have a different view on what good coaching actually is, and they think it's just how much
X's
do
and
I know?
O's. Yeah.
Yeah, and it is how much do you know, but it ain't the X's and O's. It's how much about life do you know? How
There it
much
is.
do you know about kids? Do you know how much you know about psychology or just
Mm-hmm.
anything like that? How much do you know about that?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can draw power all day, but if this kid don't trust you to ask him to take him home because he feel like you gonna say no, that kid ain't gonna play hard for you.
At all.
That's it. And it's one of those things where, and Coach Washington, Coach Luna could attest to this. The main thing I've always said was when football season ended, I've always went to go watch those kids do their second sport. I've always went to their basketball games, especially kids on the B team. I wasn't losing no time. They played at 4 o'clock. You know what I mean? So it's just, and I go watch Grady hoop, and that's a coach. Shout out to Grady if you're watching this. I go watch Grady, and he coaching basketball. He's a head coach at Fulton now, but he was just coaching the sophomore team. I would go support him. You see what I'm saying? So, and it's all those things of like, you got to show that you more than just this football player, and that's
Yep.
it. You more than just this coach I coach with in the office. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more than that. So I think when you show those things, that's genuine. And like Washington said, like you gotta mean that. Like you ain't just, oh, I'm just here so you can see my face at this game, and I'm gonna dip out at the end of the first quarter. No, because you might miss this kid, might dunk the ball. You don't know what you're gonna like. It's little things. And I'm telling you, when y'all do it, the kids always say something the next day or after the game.
Hey, coach, you
Hey,
seen that?
bro.
Hey,
Yeah,
coach,
you
you
Yeah.
seen
coach, you,
Yeah.
yeah.
and it be something so small. Coach, you see my pass? Yeah, I seen that. I seen that little bounce pass. Like that's it. But that's what I'm saying, bro. Like half these kids don't have their parents there, all
Right.
kinds of stuff, man. But the main thing is those kids know you care
Support.
about them,
Mm-hmm.
not the football player, not the wide receiver, them, the person. If you need a ride, I'll take you. If I need to pick you up, I'll pick you up. Man, I picked LJ up I don't know how many times my whole life from different sides of the town. He'll reach us out to this day because he know it was real. I wasn't picking him up because he was my starting receiver. I was picking him up because I needed him to get to school so he could graduate. That was it.
So you can be the
And he
man that he
knew
needed
that.
to be.
He knew that.
Simple as that.
So,
Again, that's why you have coaches and then you have elite coaches. That's
yep.
the difference. That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Again, those individuals, those elite coaches are selfless. I want to take us to another quick little topic. Still in the same vein of, being in halftime. And we talked about one side of it, being down. I want to talk about the other side of it about being up.
Mm-hmm.
You had a good year. You had a good year. You having a good year. Everything is going well. We are up right now. We up 30, 40 points right now. I'm from the generation of why are you taking your foot off the gas?
Mm-hmm.
That's the generation that I'm from. If you're gonna get your ass whooped, you gonna get your ass whooped. I'm not finna
Yep.
pull it back because because sorry. No, you about to get this. You about to catch the sale. So, Coach Davis, can you walk us through? Because I mean, you've been behind some other end of them losses. You've been on the other side of them, and you've been on the other side of them of them wins where we up now. What do you now tell those kids? What's the mindset now going into the third and fourth quarter where now I'm up? What's that mindset?
So the mindset I use is I take a different approach. I think a lot of popular approaches that we see and that people do is like, oh, calm down. That's just one half. Don't get too ahead of yourselves and it's all this. No, I let them be up. They should be proud of that. Like, again, we put a lot of time into this. A whole lot of time. The kids do too. So the plays that we was running on scout team was working and all that stuff, and now it's working this first half and we up. They should be happy that they had a successful first half. And now we just say we got to repeat it the second half by doing this. Understanding and letting them know the team in the next locker room, they going to make adjustments, whether that's mentally, schematically, both, whatever. But they're not going to just come out and roll over. Will they roll over? Who knows? But we got to expect them to not roll over, because if I was down 30 and I was talking to y'all, what would I be saying? You see what I'm saying? So it's more so not raining on their parade and telling them not to be happy, but also telling them, no, you deserve to be happy. Like, we're having a good game. Now let's just close it out. And that's it. Like, that's not, I don't think that's hard to understand. Like, but a lot of coaches will come in and just rain on these kids' parade. Like, hey, that's just one half.
You see a lot of coaches, and from your perspective, like, they give you the, okay, great job, great half. Now let's pull it back a little bit. Now what we were doing, we was airing it out. That's why
playing not to lose. Yeah, playing not to lose. And I've been that's the psychology again of certain coaches of not really truly believing in themselves. I'm not talking just coordinators. They might feel like, man, I don't know if it was me and the kids or why we're up 30.
Can we sustain this?
Can we do that? Well, I mean, they did turn it over 2 times over there, and we got the ball inside the 20. And then that one pass we caught for a touchdown, that was blown coverage. So let's just run the ball, not blow the game. Let's not possibly throw interceptions, give them good field position, and give up any momentum. I've lost games behind stuff like that in the second half because, and it was at Side Ridge, it was before Luna and Washington was there, and we've lost some games where we just came out the second half conservative.
Flat.
So pretty much the coaches, aside from the players, the coaches psych themselves out.
Yeah.
The coach lacks confidence.
Yes. I was just talking to my dog. Shout out to Coach Gandy. He over at Conroe. I was just having a conversation with Gandy. He's at Conroe, and they're in a district with the Woodlands. And the Woodlands have won. What made me bring this conversation up was I read that the Woodlands won like 25 out of the last 27 district championships over there. And he was telling me how, like, bro, it's so crazy. Like, the kids over there, when we play the Woodlands, they just get so scared because they just lose to them. They've been losing since they were in middle school, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I'll tell you another thing when I watched our game. I was like, the coaches be scared too. They'll call plays conservative because it's the Woodlands. You know what I mean? Like, they're not gonna throw it deep on first down like they would versus Oak Ridge and New Caney. But it's the Woodlands, so I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna run, pass on third, and just punt. So, and the kids can see that too. You see what I'm saying? So I think a lot of people talk about how kids are scared, but we don't talk about how coaches are scared for these big games. And they might not call it scary, but they're very careful. Way more careful than they were in past games.
Scared.
Yeah, they're scared. The game plan is scary. No, the game plan is confident.
Right.
Oh, we could get them with this. Man, look, man, they playing this cover 3. We could just run verticals and hit them with this. It all sounds good. Then we get to the game, you come home to mama. Inside zone.
You talking about this, it made me think about something that Luna said before. You said at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, the guys they're gonna beat the whoever the guys are, they're gonna win the game in most cases. But with that being said, you know, I'm about to take this back to my upbringing. We gonna move like no other factors are around.
Yeah.
We gonna move as if everything's even all the time. That means I'm gonna be a dog at all times. And if the coach can't be a dog all the time, their players not gonna be dogs all the time. Now you lowering the confidence in the kid because they notice your game plan changed. You game plan like this for 6 weeks straight. We got here week 7, and you got soft on them. And so what your kid gonna do? They gonna get soft. Or we've had situations where, well, at Ridge, we had kids that complained about it. They didn't necessarily get soft.
They just knew.
We seen the kids that were dogs themselves be like, what y'all doing?
What is this? Yeah. Because they were used to being trained like dogs. Yeah. And that's one thing you don't want to do is take a dog out of the kid. You don't want to take the dog out of the kid, man. Because once it's gone, it's gone. And it's hard to put them in there. It's hard to put that dog in some of those kids, man. And it's just, like you said, man, those kids see it, and it sucks. Like, I'm not going to name any names, but when I was a year, I was in a game, and the playoff berth was on the line, and we threw the ball 2 times. And this whole season, we was running 4 wide, throwing at least 15 to 20 times. But when the playoff was on the line, it was just let me be real safe.
Be careful.
And not lose this game. Not win the game, but I don't want to lose this game.
Right.
2 times.
Hold on, Coach. I want you to build on that. I can't let you leave that one. What's the difference? What's the difference on wanting to win, and what's the difference between not wanting to lose? Like, what's the not to lose? What's the difference?
So not wanting to lose would be, I'll give an example to make it simple for people who don't really follow it. Let's just say we go into halftime and we're up 30-14. I come out of halftime. I'm the offensive coordinator, and it's still 30-14. I'm not going to throw the ball as much because there's a possibility that I could throw an interception or give up field position. Or I'm not going to go tempo as much like I did the first half that got me up, because that might give them extra possessions to where they can catch back up and win. So I'm going to play careful to not give that lead up. I won't be the reason to give it up. That's to not lose. To win the game is I come out that half, it's 30-14, and I come out with a trick play because I want to keep my foot on their throat, and I'm going to continue to do the same thing as far as mentality of still staying aggressive and closing this game out. Some close the game out, and some just want to get to the end of the game. And that's not wanting to lose. You see what I'm saying? And if y'all watch games, and y'all do, and it's just the viewers who don't coach, and the ones that do coach, you probably don't know it. Watch football games after halftime. Whether it's big or rather, you just see it. NBA, how many 20-point leads are blown? How many 30-point leads are blown? Why do you think that happens?
Watch the match.
Yeah. If I'm full court pressing and I'm up 30, why am I turn the press off for?
Yep.
Why would I get in 2-3? Now they ain't shot the ball and ran on a 10-0 run. Now they got a little confidence. It's some people just take their foot off the gas, like, oh, well, I don't need to press now. We up this amount. I don't need to throw down the field now. We up 16.
You know what? It's just bad life lessons. Taking it back full circle, right? If we think about every coach that you remember, right? And the way you operate as a coach and how you teach some kids to carry that mentality off the field. Why in the hell would I teach you to ease up in life?
Right.
That's what you teaching. That's the habit that you establishing right now.
Yeah.
Because we want to be good sportsmen. Like, life ain't going to be good sportsmen to you. Like, no, we're not going to be careful. Because ain't nobody gonna be careful with you if it's the other way around.
And just in life, like your career or the money you make. Like I feel like, let's just say you make 60,000 and you just like, I'm cool with this. I'm gonna just keep this job. That's playing not to lose.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Why not I want 85, I want 90, I want 100K.
Some people. You struck some people, Coach.
Will you get it? Maybe not, but you are achieving and you're trying to win. You're trying to win at this game life. I'm not cool with just being up 60. I want to be up 100. You see what I'm saying? And some people are cool with, and I just saw, oh man, it's perfect. I just saw a tweet yesterday that made me upset because it was saying like, hey, if you're a black male and you make 60,000, just know, or 6,000 plus, just know you're doing a great job.
Like
because
60%, top 63%.
Yeah, because the average salary for a black male is like 51,000 or something like that. So they're saying, well, since you're making 60, you're doing good. Like, don't be too mad about that.
Get out of here, yo.
In a way, yes, I see you're doing better than the average. But are we just trying to be average now?
There it is.
Is that
you see
the
what I'm saying?
At the ceiling?
Yeah. And that's the thing is like, I feel like that tweet kind of made some people feel like, man, I'm not too, yeah. And I feel like sometimes feeling like, and not to say like be extreme, you not doing well in life is a motivating thing to go get it. And then when you tell somebody, oh, you're doing good, you made it, they kind of stop. You know what I'm saying? Like it's weird how the mind works. Like you could be making 65 and be like, man, I need to get more bread, I need to get more bread. And then they say, man, you know what? You know you're 65, you're the top 80% in the country. Oh, for real? Oh, shit, man.
But
maybe I was tripping.
So bad.
Yeah, maybe I'm good. So it's not like, no, bro, go still chase that.
Right.
And so it's just, again, playing not to lose and then playing to win. So everybody's not like that. And that's fine. That's why we have these classes, these middle class, upper middle class, etc. Some are born into it, but then some are just some go-getters.
Right. They put themselves in those positions.
Yes. They chase it. They that's their showtime. They try to get that win.
I see what you did there.
Coach,
they try, hey, them boys trying to get them little dollars.
The little dollars.
Boy, you tired,
coming to a ring near you.
Yeah.
Oh man,
bro,
they probably like, what they talking about?
Right. You had to be there. Inside joke.
Yeah.
Coach, you hit something that I want to make sure that we kind of go back on. Not the little money. But there was a comment that was made about, again, you see it, you know, with players in the league, right? Like you said, watch a halftime. When you watch a coach like in the NFL right now at halftime, the demeanor is usually the same. But you can tell from the players where the demeanor actually is. It's different when we were in high school, though. The players, you can't tell what the demeanor is. You can tell what the demeanor is.
I'm about to say, like, yeah, you can see it.
You can see it.
Yeah.
But you can see it faster, at least from coaches' standpoints. Like as coaches, we can see it faster from our other counterparts where we actually are right now.
Yep. Yes. That's funny that you bring that up because, and Luna might find this funny, he might not. I don't think he's gonna find it funny. But I love Hard Knocks. Love it. Like I watch it. And when I say I watch Hard Knocks, I watch Hard Knocks. Like I'm about 20 years in on Hard Knocks. And the one thing that I've always looked at is they always start off is because they're starting off camp. They always start off with the first team meeting. And you can always see that head coach when he's talking to those players, and they always scan the room. And they just scan the room just to say, hey, look who he's talking to. But I look at that stuff deeper. You can see the scanner room, and you can see how some players are just like this, lean back, and you see some players that are like, and these grown men sitting straight up listening to what they're saying because they believe it. If you watch the Dolphins, Hard Knocks, you can tell they don't respect him as a man and a head coach. They respect him as a great X and O guy, as a great guy that's with schematics, and they know he's going to have a great game plan. They know he's going to put them in position offensively wise to win. But he's just not that, I'm getting this out of you. And you can just look at it. If you have not watched the Dolphins Hard Knocks, I want you to really go back, and I just want you to watch how the players respond to him. It's almost like he's not a joke, but it's just like, you just need to be a coordinator. But then I want you to go watch the Detroit Lions Hard Knocks.
Different.
You see what I'm saying? It's a totally different guy, and the team, just the team, they look at him like, I'm listening to everything you're saying. I believe you. And the things, and was the one thing I like about the Lions, and I'm a huge Texas fan, but I'm a Lions. Lions is my second favorite team because I watched them when he first got there, and they were terrible. And he was telling them, hey, I'm going to do these push-ups with you just because I want to be out here with you. And I don't know if y'all know about like a bunch of NFL for the viewers, but they don't practice full pads like that. They're rarely full pads. They're thud. They don't take each other to the ground. None of that. But he was having them full pads and hitting. And they hated him for that. Watch the Hard Knocks. It's a beautiful, I'm telling you, watching the Lions this past year and then watching that episode, that season of Hard Knocks is beautiful because he said, look, guys, I know. And they was not buying into that. He's like, look, I know y'all hate this. I know that y'all hate that we in full pads, but I promise you, this is going to work. I promise you, I'm telling you, this is what it's going to take for us to get over that hump. This is, and they were just like, yeah, right. Whatever, bro. You just being stupid having us hit like that. Then they won like what, 7 or 8 games that year? And then they came back this year and should have went to the Super Bowl. They blew it versus the 49ers. And I remember he was talking to them after that divisional win, and he was in the locker room. He said, man, I remember y'all, I was telling y'all last year, those full padded practices, I told y'all it would be worth it. And they all was like, yes, sir, yes, sir. He said, I told y'all. And he was damn near in tears. And I felt that because I felt like I came up with them.
Yep.
Because that's what it takes, bro. Like, it takes somebody to do some unconventional stuff to say, this is what's going to take for us to get over the hump. We can't do what Miami do. We can't do what Buffalo do. We don't have that personnel. We don't have this. We don't have that. This is what we need to do. And those players at first did not believe. And then when they start seeing results, they believe. And when they start seeing that you're true to this, they'll believe. And that was just a huge thing, man. If y'all have not watched the Miami Dolphins Hard Knocks and the Lions, I want y'all to watch them. It is night and day. Not because the Lions coach is taller and stronger and he has a deeper voice. It's just those players believe in him, and you can see it. And you can see the results in the seasons. And that's when I always say it don't matter about X's and O's. I must bring it back again. Prime, they won 4 games, and everybody think that's a failure. But that's the same team that won 0 and lost the whole team and had to build it through the portal and won 4 games. They weren't better than that Nebraska team. They were barely better than that Colorado State team they beat, that they had to win in overtime. But they believe. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's just, he literally has his slogan is,
Do you believe?
Yep.
Do you believe? And he made it. It ain't just some
100%.
stuff to put on a shirt and sell, and them kids believe it. And you can tell when they beat TCU, I want you, again, viewers, go back and watch all the locker room videos of when they beat TCU. It's not because it was a Super Bowl and they thought it was over. It's because all the stuff that they went through, those past Colorado players, Shadur, Prime, all the doubts and all that and what they doing, and it won't work. It worked. Right there.
Payoff.
Right there.
Yep.
And then, just then the typical move to goalposts. Oh, that's just TCU. They lost everybody. But this was the same TCU that was a 21-point favorite. Y'all said they wouldn't beat. They were just in that championship, et cetera, et cetera. And that's just all down the road. That's a whole for another episode. But the whole point is just like you get those guys to buy in when you actually believe the stuff yourself.
100%.
And it's not just, let me just tell these guys what they need to hear or what I should say. These are my true feelings. When I lay my head down at night, I'm thinking about this. What I'm going to tell these kids, what I'm going to tell these men when I see them in the morning. And that's it. It's not a rehearsal.
Coaches
I'm not in the mirror. Huh?
So them coaches got to stay hungry too. You got to stay driven.
Yeah. Yes.
Can't just talk.
No, you got it. I mean, but to stay driven, you got to have a goal. And when you achieve that ultimate goal, set a new one. You know what I'm saying? Like
we forget to do that a lot. That's something we forget to do. We achieve something, and once we achieve this, like, okay, great, I got it.
Yep, that's it.
Now that's it.
Yep.
I got it. Get off the gas.
I got the lead. I'm good.
Nah.
I made my 100.
Right.
Well, shit, you just made that 100. You just went from 60 to 100. Why not go from 100 to 160?
I was going to
say
know what I'm saying?
Like,
but
two. Yeah, whatever you want to do. Like, however you set those things, like,
right.
It's just, I don't know. I feel like we set ourselves. Yes, a lot of people sell themselves short, man, and that's life. Like, it's just, that's why some people are where they are, and that's why it's just I don't know. Like, you kind of find yourself believing in people more than they believe in themselves. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Or people don't know how special they are. Like your partners, like your closest friends, is just like, bro, you better than this. You smarter than this. You can do this. And they might be like, man, I don't know if I can. I mean, yeah, I want to apply for that job, but man, they want somebody there with this. Bro, you can do that. You know what I'm saying? And then you like, you think so? Like, it's weird. Like, you're like, damn, like, you don't see what I see in you. You don't see that in yourself. So it's one of those things where it's just like, I'm a firm believer you can do anything you put your mind to it. Yeah. Anything. Whatever it is, you just got to learn. That person that's doing that thing was not good at that at some point. They had to learn.
Absolutely.
So why can't that be you? You want to go be a real estate agent and you've been a teacher for 30 years? Go be a real estate agent.
Teach yourself the
skills.
Buy the books. Look at the courses. You know what I'm saying? It ain't never too late.
Everything's out.
Yeah, dog, but it's just one of those, they just think life is over at a certain age. It's too late to start over. It's never too late to start over.
Nah.
Never.
Nah,
That's why I used to love when I was in college, man. I see those older people in college.
Yeah.
I used to love that shit, man.
Yeah.
I love seeing 50 and 60-year-old people in my college class.
Yeah.
I used to love that shit, dog. Because I'm like, bro, these people never gave up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, or whatever it was. Maybe they started out in the Army and did this and this, and they finally said, I'm going to go get a college degree.
Yep.
I'm going to take this 8 a.m. class. I'm going to sit in here with these 19 and 20-year-olds, and I'm going to get my degree. I love that.
And be open about it. Like, I'm going back to school. You know, I'm 55 years old. Don't matter.
How can you get mad at it?
And hell no, you can't be. You can't be.
No. Like, I see overweight people at the gym. I love that. What's wrong with that? Like, and I never understood that people get shamed for being in the gym. Like, what?
You're going to get shamed being in the gym. You're going to be shamed not being in the gym.
The hardest part is get into the gym.
Yeah, you talk about them for being big. You see a big dude at Burger King eating a Whopper, he'll be eating that Whopper. Then you see a big dude on the Stairmaster, he's ass on the Stairmaster. Hey, what's going on?
Can he win? Can he win?
Yeah, it's lose-lose. Like, what are you supposed to do, bro? Are you supposed to eat? Or are you supposed to lose the weight? Like, you don't know. So it's the same thing, bro. I don't know. Life is life.
Life is definitely life. And one thing I want to kind of go back on before we wrap is change needs to occur. Simple as that. Change has to occur. I mean,
when you say that, because it reminds me when the second regime that I was GA under at Texas State, the strength coach, the very first thing they said, change is uncomfortable and change is inevitable. It's uncomfortable and it's inevitable.
You can't.
You can't.
Very uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable, but it ain't.
Especially when you are the majority, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
If you're the majority, change is a horrible thing to witness. And we're seeing that now. We're seeing that now. I'm telling you. And this is my last time. Going back to prime. Ain't used to be no coaches on the sideline wearing chains.
Never.
You wouldn't believe, you wouldn't imagine that. But now you're starting to see it. That's changed. I don't like that. I don't like the shades and all these other things. And the amount, and you look at the high school sports, it's a lot of black coaches getting head jobs at suburban schools. And they don't like that change. I'm going to name a high school, and I ain't going to say no names because I don't know who's watching. But I'm going to let y'all do y'all research. It's a very suburban high school that hired a black man as a head coach. And the staff had 14 people. 12 were white. 9 of them left. And it wasn't because of scheme. And they went to schools who don't even go to the playoffs. This team gonna always go to the playoffs, always fight for a district championship. Luna might know this team. He should know this team very well.
I might be very familiar with this team.
And 9
I didn't even know that
of those guys. Oh, yeah. And they went to schools that got 7th place in the same district, schools that were never in the playoffs in the past 6 or 7 years, just to say that I will not work for a black man. They didn't say that, but their actions are showing.
You outwardly said it by leaving.
But that's the change. And that change is in their world coming up to be black or brown, you either have to coach receivers, DBs, or linebackers. That's it. Or be a recruiting guy. Now we're starting to see these guys become head coaches.
Head coaches, offensive coordinators.
Yep. I don't know if I can work under a guy like this because he gonna be playing this rap music, or I don't think he deserved the job. I don't think he can do the job. Why don't you think he can do the job?
Not like me. They not like us.
He applied for the job. He
not like us.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just one of those things where they just, like you said, change is scary. Depending on who you are.
That's right. Because I've definitely seen light skin take a project. I've seen light skin take a program in the wrong direction.
So so did. Hey, I seen his partner take the program in the wrong direction. Let Luna know what I'm talking about.
Holding that hard animosity right now, bro.
Yeah, both of them was winning a lot of games, and they took their stuff on to another school, and they won nothing. Nothing. One ain't working anymore, and the other should not be working anymore. But he just out of school. There's no expectation. But if he ever leave that school, I don't know where he's going to go. Maybe his skin will get him somewhere, but it won't be a good head job. I'm just being real. That's just saying.
Those days.
So I say all that to say this: a change is coming. Be accepted to change. Be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And nothing changes if nothing changes.
I love that. That's back. I'm back pocketing that one, bro. That one's back pocket. I'm still in that one. I know you stole it from somebody, but I'm stealing it from you.
Yeah, I don't know where I heard that from. But yeah, it stuck with me.
I love it. I love it. I love it. First and foremost, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to talk to us about changing that perspective going into halftime and changing that, getting that igniter for yourself going into the third quarter. So I definitely appreciate that. I know this is definitely not gonna be the last time we have you in this pod. I got a sneaking suspicion. I got a sneaking suspicion we're gonna have you on very soon again. So
yeah, that's what I told him. I've been saying I've been trying to get on, man. I'm glad. Let me know.
Happy to have you back, bro. We definitely are gonna have you back. Yes, sir.
One thing I need when you bring me back.
Yes, sir.
I need one of them little backgrounds y'all got.
You know what? We're gonna get you a background.
Y'all boys got me look like a walk-on over here.
You know what?
You're gonna wear that white t-shirt.
Yeah,
right.
Y'all got me
right.
So y'all boys play 2K, huh? Y'all boys got me in that brown tee
You got the little brown
The
stain.
Kevin Brown jersey on.
I'm that 55 overall with no badges. You gotta give me a background or something. I'm naked over here.
Oh, man, you got a dope background, bro. I'll trade backgrounds with you.
Yeah, no, y'all boys looking at me like we just met on the street. Hey, hop on the Zoom real quick.
Hey, somebody send him the link real quick.
Yeah,
Show
Zoom.
right.
I just snuck on this motherfucker. But no, man, I appreciate y'all boys having me, man. As y'all can see, I love talking about ball and life. That's all we got.
It's one and the same, bro. It's one and the same. We've learned a lot from football that helped equate over to life and to help everybody else. Again, we talk about this every single week. It is about affecting one. If you can just affect just one person, you've done your job.
Yep.
Coach Wash, you got a job before we get up out of here, bro. You don't got nothing in your pockets? You got some little money? You got some little money?
I got a Nick.
Got little dollars.
You got some little dollars.
Little dollars.
I
don't know. This is a random bar. I didn't even play with it. I ain't even finished this shit. I said, yo, my tongue is a mean burning. I keep it rolling like Teen Turner. Fuck with me, dog. Rebel like Nat Turner. How you, brother? Why you scared of a black hernie? That's all I got.
This
they definitely scared of a black
coincides.
earner. Yeah.
Coincides.
They scared of it. They're scared of them. I'm trying to be a black earner. Shit.
You well on your way, bro. You well on your way.
Big dollars, though. Big dollars. Not
big dollars.
little.
Not a little dollars. Not a little dollars. I mean, little dollars eventually get big dollars.
We'll talk.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk. We're gonna tap on the money talks, Davis. You already know what.
Yeah. You already know I know about that one. Yeah. Let me talk about that money.
Let's go. Let's
go.
We're
gonna get on them talk.
Coach Davis, it is a pleasure, yo. Thank you so much again for joining the pod. Again, if you like what you heard, smack that like and subscribe button if you want to hear more from your Coach Life fam. And until next time, my friends, stay positive.
All right.
Yeah.